feel. Your eyes are blind because you've been deceived. When you wake up, you will never be the same. Everything will finally be clear. When you open your eyes, you'll finally find the dangers of your mind. Leads you to no fun until you find. Open your eyes to see. Open your ears to hear. This world is not what it says. What do you see? What do you feel? Your eyes are blind because you've been deceived. Come follow me inside what it's like to be free. Set your mind free. Set your mind free. The dangers of this world, the traps set by the whore. It's all over your screen. You fall in love with these things. Open your eyes and see. We're at war with the unseen. Open your eyes and see. Open your ears and hear. This world is not what it says. What do you see? What do you feel? Your eyes are blind because you've been deceived. Come and follow me to what it's like to be free. Set your mind free. Set your mind free. They tell you what they're gonna do, but you still ignore. Still you lie with their heart. Your mind is trapped inside the machine. What do you see? What do you feel? Your eyes are blind because you've been deceived. Come and follow me to see what it's like to be free. Set your mind free. Set your mind free. Set your mind free. From the machine.
You already know what it is, man. We are back here to serve some more game on the ground for them hungry hounds. So just go out the pound and ready for the next round. So with that being said, make sure you grab your snacks, your drinks, whatever the case may be. Actually, probably don't grab those because you really don't need them. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this next episode. Y'all can see the title of this episode just live, whatever you want to call it. I'm just checking out Andrew Tate's emergency meeting that he did recently. I think it was a day ago. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get this pulled up real quick. Boom. Boom. Just like that. Y'all already know. Alright, with that being said, this is on Rumble, so yes, there's going to be ads. Unfortunately, it's something that I cannot control because it is Rumble. But let's go ahead and jump into it.
Just gonna get a coffee. Bring me a coffee. Thanks. Put us on the big screen living room. Yeah. Thanks. Right. Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about a very interesting frame of thought, an easy way to view the world and try to understand why certain things happen. Because as humans, we're always searching for meaning. We're searching for understanding. And that is the basis behind most religions, behind a lot of philosophy, all of these things. We're constantly looking for the answer. Because we have this thing inside of us which makes us very inquisitive. It gives us the ability to love things, ability to love others, the ability to understand. So we're always looking for the final answer. What's the final solution? And you can spend many years of your life studying Plato and watching all these long and in-depth videos about who controls the world and who does what. And there's certainly merits of truth to all the philosophers, and there's merits of truth to all of the theories of economics and power structure. But there's a very simple overview, which I like to use in terms of understanding the world and why certain people are doing certain things. And it's very simply love and evil. So for that, I'm going to give you this very basic philosophical framework. Because you can read Aristotle, and you can read Plato, and you can read The Art of War, and you can read the 48 Laws of Power, and you can read all these books. You can spend your entire life studying. But truthfully, there's a macro framework that allows you to avoid all of that work, spend that time doing something else, and very simply and easily understand the world. Now, I'm not claiming to be a philosopher. This is just my theory that I've come up with, that I'm here to share with you. And it's very simply called love and evil. So I'm going to explain to you how it works now, and hopefully it makes sense. If at any point during this you have any questions, feel free to send them in a super chat. I'm going to be reading out every single super chat and answering every single question. Let's put the aircon on or open this, please. So of all the philosophy in the world, of all the different ways, because what is philosophy? Philosophy is trying to understand thinking. It's trying to understand why we are the way we are, why we do what we do. Of all the philosophy in the world, the most potent and pertinent and absolutely accurate and true was came up with thousands and thousands of years ago, and you already know it. Many of you may not have read a lot of the Greek philosophers. You may not understand the brutality of economics or war or politics, but I guarantee all of you know this symbol. So the most important thing when it comes to philosophy and understanding the world is an age-old symbol called the yin and the yang. You've all seen it. That's a terrible rendition of it. But this explains the world absolutely. And basically you have light and dark in equal, opposing amounts. You have a little bit of light in all of the dark, and you have a little bit of dark in all of the light. So to explain, there is something good about all of the bad things that happen to you, and there is something bad about all of the good things that happen to you. And there is going to be good and evil, sorry, it's going to be good and evil in equal and opposite amounts throughout the world. When I say this, a lot of people understand there's good and bad, but not many people think about or understand the fact that every time something bad happens to you, there's a good lesson in it. You become a stronger person. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You learn something. You learn how to protect yourself. You become more grateful for what you have. Even if you lose your arm, you become more grateful for your other arm. There's always something good that happens in the bad. And there's always something bad that happens in the good. You all want to become rich. I don't blame you. I'm very, very rich, and I'd hate not to be. But bad things will happen when you get rich. You'll have to be more conscious of your security. You might become more arrogant. You might become more elitist. You might stop caring about people around you. You may believe that there's no luck involved, that perhaps there was no fortune or good providence. You just built it all yourself because you're a fantastic person and you're going to treat poor people badly. So there's always something bad and something good that happens in the inverse. And these exist in equal and opposite amounts. And the reason they exist in equal and opposite amounts is because they create each other. And I like to slightly change the yin and the yang, between the light and the dark, to love and evil. And it is both love and evil which create one another. You know, one of the most asked questions amongst philosophers and deep thinkers throughout history is, why do people do evil things? Why is there so much evil in the world? This is asked to priests, this is asked to imams. You say, if God exists, why is there so much evil? Why do all of these bad things happen? And a whole bunch of answers are given in reply. There's various different responses as to why there is evil in the world. Perhaps evil is a force in and of itself. Perhaps it's because humans have free will, etc. But my theory is very simple. The reason there is evil is because there is love. For the very same reason the reason there is light is because there is dark. Because when you love something, you are automatically attacking its inverse, which by definition will be seen as evil for the people who believe in that inverse. Let me give you a very simple example. If I love my country, when people try to invade my country, I'm going to kill them. If women and children try to come to my country uninvited, I will repel them. Now that is evil, right? To shoot and kill and murder, to reject women and children who are only coming to try and find food and shelter. I'm an evil person. What kind of bad person would turn those people away, or even worse, murder them? Well, it's someone who loves his country. I can't love my country without committing evil acts. And depending on which side of the fence you sit on, depends on whether you see me as a person who is patriotic and full of love, or a person who is evil and full of hate. And that is why there's always going to be endless conflict in the world.
Another way to put it is that it's basically a perspective. It's perspective based. See, some people believe that you should let foreign people in, just like, they're try to do with the border and whatnot, and y'all see how that happened. And they believe that that's good, and that's love, like he would say. And there's some people who believe they should all be kicked out, and any one of them that committed any crime should definitely be kicked out immediately and or given the death penalty, depending on the severity of their crimes. That's also considered love, because you're doing something for the greater good as far as the country goes. So it's a perspective thing. That's really all it comes down to.
That's why there's going to be endless, never-ending death and destruction, because humans have the capacity to love. We, as animals, have the capacity to love, not just each other, but we can love places, we can love things, we can love experiences, we can love certain emotions, we can love capabilities. By having the capability to love, we instantly create a shadow of endless evil. So when you sit and you analyze this, well then, simply, you could look at the yin and yang as love and evil. Or you could look at it as one thing, one force. Love and evil are the same thing. They're the same, because you can't do one without creating the other. And this is something that people who are in charge of the world understand very well. Because by doing a certain action, they know they will create an inverse. So let me give you an example. Let's imagine there was a country which was currently committing a genocide. But why are they committing the genocide so publicly? Because this country, let's say, had complete control and blockade of its enemy for a very long time. Why wouldn't they just make them all infertile by poisoning the food supplies? That would be very easy and nobody would know. Why wouldn't they just poison them slowly? Why wouldn't they just give them all turbo cancer in the medications that they were given? Why wouldn't they just build out a 10-year plan for the population to slowly decrease and eventually just fade away to nothing? There's no reason.
If you can follow simple steps, you can follow this and get paid.
Then why they would have to do a big public execution. Why would they be doing this? That doesn't make sense. If the goal is primarily genocide, then the primary objective would be to not get caught. The primary objective would be to commit the genocide without anyone finding out about it so that anybody can talk about it. So if the goal is not genocide, what is the goal? Well, the goal is to be deemed and seen as evil. That is their primary objective. Why use, in this fictional country, why would they use military-grade weaponry on children, which is the height of evil incarnate, unless they wanted the entire world to see them as evil? Well, the answer is simple. By doing evil things, by having the entire world turn on them and seeing them as evil, what does it do to their native population? Their native population will sit there and say, well, everyone hates us now, so I guess we got to stick together. Nobody likes us. In fact, now it's more important than ever. If I'm a judge and you get caught, looking at kids online, child porn, I'm going to help you out because they're all against us anyway. We have to love each other because there's so much evil out there against us. So now we have to love each other. We have to unify. So by deliberately going out into the world and attracting evil, they are generating love in another place. This is what's extremely important for you to understand about the way the world actually works. It would have been very easy for this country to commit a genocide without attracting any evil. But then they wouldn't generate the love they need, the unity they're trying to acquire and enforce inside of their native populations and their global power networks. Because they felt like their power was slipping, perhaps they felt like their certain agents around the world were losing faith in their adherence to the true prophecy and their true loyalties above all of the other loyalties, prophecies, friendships, incentives that they were gaining throughout their power. Let's say you become a powerful, let's say this country's called, bro, I'm going to go straight to jail. I'll go straight to jail.
I already knew exactly who he started talking about too when he said genocide. And then when he said he started using military-grade weapons against children, I was like, yeah, I already know who he's talking about.
Country. Let's say these people are out there and they have very influential positions in other countries. Well, they're going to, over time, grow fond of the other country they hold power within. So how do you keep them loyal to their base, their home nation, when they have a fantastic life in another nation? You need to make them feel love for that home nation and affinity for their people, and you do that by making the world hate them. This may be going over a lot of your heads, but this is extremely important for you to understand, because this is the basic premise that game theorists think on. They attack me and call me evil, which makes people love me more, because I'm seen as a freedom fighter. Clowns and amateurs don't understand that your only weapon against people truly is apathy and outperformance. You need to outperform them and ignore them. If I break up with a woman, I know she's poor. You're poor compared to me forever. I win. And you don't exist anymore. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. Because if I hate you, you're going to love yourself. If I hate you, you're going to think, he hates me. That means he thinks about me. I'm so powerful. Look, I can make Andrew think about me. I am cool. I love myself. Well, you know what? I don't think about you at all. I don't give a fuck about you.
No, bro, that's facts. That is 100% facts. The nobodies that sit around and you got to do what you do and just ignore them. And they will begin to disintegrate, so to speak, internally. You ever notice that if you're the quote unquote cool kid or whatever, the cool guy, whether it's in school or at work or whatever the case may be, and if you socialize with people, with the nobodies, they're gonna start feeling themselves like, oh yeah, I'm cool with the cool dude, I'm cool with the cool kid, whatever. And they start thinking highly of themselves. But if you don't socialize with them, if you just ignore them and do what you do and keep on pushing, they get mad. But they also get mad at themselves because they feel like they're nothing because you're not acknowledging them. That's facts.
And you're blocked. You're not in my brain. And you're sitting at home wondering if I'm thinking about you, and the answer is no. That's it. Apathy and outperformance are your weapons. Projecting evil in any direction creates love in another. And this is something else we need to consider. When people, hippies, all the religions, everyone says, love is the answer. Well, yes, love is the answer. You're right. But if you're projecting evil, you're creating love somewhere else. Let me give you a very simple example. Let's change it to something else. Currently, there's a lot of conversations around race. There's conversations around the fact that white people are losing their countries in real time. I, as a brown man, agree with them and see this is happening, and I know this is true, right? I have come to the aid of and tried to help white people understand why this is happening. And many of them have turned on me, called me names, and insulted me, which is fine. There's no problem with that. I have no problem. But let's look at a very simple, basic example. To have white children, you need white women to have white kids. So let me ask you something. Do white women love their race? Or do they love power and status and money? Because I know plenty of white women. In fact, I have a bunch of them who would be happily have kids with me because they know that I'm powerful and I'm rich and I have status and I can protect them and I'm funny and I'm smart and I'm famous and I'm charismatic. Very few white women will say, I love my race more than I love power, status, money, trips, private jets, Birkin bags, Instagram likes. They don't give a shit about their race in comparison. They love that more than they love their race, which is why they'll all sleep with a brown, black. They don't give a shit if they're getting what they want because they don't love their race. So in the eyes of the white nationalists, these women are evil, right? Because they love feeling important and feeling protected. They're doing an evil act considered by the other side. So there is always a equal and opposite force in all of these things. And when you're trying to convince somebody of something, you have to think, there's two ways I can do this. Do I attack it with love or do I attack it with evil? If I attack it with love, I try to make them feel that the inverse is evil. And if I attack it with evil, I try and make them feel that the inverse is love. Let me give you an example. I can say to you, guys, you need to be rich. And let me attack it with love. You need to be rich. You need the freedom. You need to be able to drive in a fast car. You need people to think you're important. You need to fly on private jets. Life's worth living. Look how great it is to be rich. Or I can say, guys, you need to be rich, or you're going to be working a 9 to 5 listening to some fucking female boss sitting in the commute every day. I can make you hate being poor to make you love being rich. Or I can make you love being rich to make you hate being poor. It's the same emotion. Love, evil, it's the same. There is no way to go through the world doing good things without building up a huge element of antimatter. And that antimatter will manifest. I have done so many good things for young men in the world. That is why the governments of the world won't stop attacking me. Because I built up antimatter. The more good I did, the more I helped people, the nicer I was. The more I motivated you to not kill yourself, the more I helped you make money, the more I taught people to see the truth, the more I talked about the lies in the matrix, the more I did good, the evil was being created somewhere else.
That's facts, bro. I mean, look at You know how many times I see people say that Mr. Beast is evil, or, you know, he never dug those wells for Africa, or those wells are all screwed up now because blah, 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 blah. And they're just finding all these different things to say that Mr. Beast is this, that, and the third. Even though he's done so much, people hate him anyways. They still hate him. No matter what. It doesn't matter what you do, how much good that you do, you will still be hated.
This is also a very important thought experiment. Before we apply this macro to society, this is another very important thought experiment. You need to use this framework in yourself. You can say love and evil, you can say love and hate, like and dislike, it doesn't matter. If you catch yourself disliking somebody, you have to work out why. Why do I dislike that man? Is it because I love the inverse of him? What do I truly love, and should I love that thing? If a fat person makes fun of a man in shape, he's jealous, effectively. But why does he dislike the man who's in shape? Because he understands that he loves food more than he loves his own health. And the evil result of him loving food is him being out of shape. So he dislikes anybody who is opposing to his worldview and his choices. That's why the weak hate the strong. All the men who hate me are weak, and all the men who like me are strong.
What's behind this state's low cholesterol and glucose levels? Keep
Nobody
your heart as strong
cares.
as America.
Our men. That is not a coincidence. And the stronger I am, and the more I convince you to become strong, and the more strong people I create, the more the weak people will hate me. You can't commit or do any action without...
The weak people hate them because they love being comfortable. They love being slaves, pretty much. They love being told what to do and what not to do, and they love being told it's okay to, you know, be lazy. It's okay to not try. It's okay to do all these different things, or not do all these different things. And when they see people who's actually out here putting in work and doing what they're supposed to do, they hate that. No, you're supposed to be lazy, man. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to do that. Nope. No. But nah, that's 100% facts, bro. With that being said, we're going to continue this in another episode. I'm going to go ahead and get Rev up on out of here, and we're going to let him take it from here.
You're really serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do his will. I'm that nigga.
Motherfucker, because it's my world, and every motherfucking thing in it. That including your asshole, too.
Well, if God send the devil in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit, then motherfucker, you fucked up, huh? You fucked up, huh? You know your ass is doomed. What you got to speak? If you don't know shit to speak on this topic I'm bringing up, shut your goddamn ass up.
What do you say, Gerard? You ignorant slut.
I don't think I got